Excellent. And what does that mean? Okay. Awesome. Love it. Oh, good for you. Excellent. Excellent. And Jack, please.
I'm a visiting Rotarian. And I'm sort of a guest to the other Rotary Club. And we hunt in French. We're not competitive.
And do you have a nickname?
Joaquin.
Joaquin. And can you give us a little background on that? It's just. Oh, okay. Great. Welcome, Jack. And Mario. Oh. Welcome. Let's welcome our visiting Rotarian. We also have another guest who will be our speaker, and we will introduce her in a minute. And I would like someone to volunteer to come up and read the four-way test. Oh, and Mike Reed, are you there? Oh, and Sharon and Tracy are there on Zoom also. Excellent.
Yeah, Jim, I'm here, but I'm going to be quiet.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear us okay, Mike?
Yes. Well, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'll make sure we pull people up to the podium so that you can hear them. So I am looking for a volunteer to read the four-way test. Do I see any hands going up? All right, Mario in Spanish, but I don't, I've got it up here in English. But Mario, could you come up to the podium, please? Because we are on Zoom. We have two of our members on Zoom.
Find them. Anybody has in Spanish? See, okay.
Oh, it's there. Oh,
okay. Thank you very much for letting me participate here. This is the four-way test. Okay, what is this? Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is in Spanish. We call it la prueba cuádruple, the four-way test. Es verdad. See the truth. It's justo para todos los interesados. It's just for all involved.
Fair to all
It's
concerned.
fair. Okay. No, thank you.
We'll do it in English after you're done.
Sí, creará buena voluntad y mejores amistades. Y cuarta, será de beneficio para todos los interesados.
Gracias. And Marilyn, would you like to come up and do it in English, please? No, come on. I know, I get you in trouble all the time.
Can I see it?
Yep.
Okay.
And project, we've got some background noise, so please project your voice, and knowing that you are a previous teacher, I'm sure you don't have any problem with that.
Is there any other thing that you'd like me to do? Is that true? The four-way trip. What we think, say, or maybe do, right? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it bring goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Bravo.
There you go.
Thank you. I will be glad to buy you a beer. Thank you, Marilyn. Okay, I am going to bring our speaker up, and I'm delighted to introduce Brenda Natalia Bayardo Cardoso. Brenda or Natalia, you go by Natalia, correct? Yes. Natalia has a degree in tourism, a diploma in English language learning, and is currently certifying herself on sexuality and education. She's a former teacher of 10 years at Cesete Lázaro Cardenas in Tijuana, where she was teaching subjects like food and beverages, hotel and restaurant management, hospitality service, and English to more than 300 students each semester. She had the opportunity to see front row the struggles that students deal with. She was just recently promoted to be vice principal at Cesete in Primo Tapia, where she has found that even though it's a big school with almost 400 students and many different areas for them to enjoy, the struggles are still the same. Please help me welcome Natalia to the podium. And if you'll give me a minute, I will screen share your presentation.
Okay.
Am I allowed to share?
Sure.
I mean, I was asking
Yes, you are.
Miriam. There you go. And again, please project your voice as we have some background noise sometimes.
Okay, well, I'm really nervous for starters.
Bring your,
Okay.
please. There you
Okay.
go.
And can I
What-
make this bigger?
Certainly. You can, the little green thing will maximize it. Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
And then the arrows will scroll
Okay.
up and I think, yep, up and down.
Okay, well, I don't know if you guys know where, well, Primo Tapia is. I guess most of you know it, right? There's an upper side and a lower side to Primo Tapia. If you knew that, there's a secondary school on the upper side, and far up that hill is our Cecite, our school. And it's a semi-rural area, and it's a medium to low income families. The school has a population of around 378 students. And we offer technical careers. The students go out of high school with como digo, una carrera técnica? Is it technical? Mhm. And we offer two of those careers. One's programming and the other one's hospitality. Anything that has to do with hotels or food and beverages and service. I don't really know if you can see the entrance to the school. I was gonna try and show you the entrance to our school. Thank you. This is the outside and the entrance to the school. We don't have a visible sign because there's part of the lot where the school building is that's not part of the school. No es propiamente de la escuela, o sea, sino tiene como otro dueño.
So it's a private property.
Yeah, it's a part of it is private, and it is where the sign used to be, so we can't use it right now. So casi no se puede observar. You don't see that there's a school unless you know that's a school.
So there's no sign, no
Yeah.
official sign of the school, because where the sign used to be, it's part of the property. And then-
Yeah.
but it was-
And so, well, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the history of the school. It formally started at that secondary school. They shared their classrooms with the students after, I think, 12 or after 1. It was high school, and in the morning it was a secondary school. And after a year, I guess, the government gave a property to Cecite, and they started over there with ¿cómo se llaman los salones móviles? Mobile classrooms, yeah. And well, after that, it's been going up with the numbers of students we have. And so they started building the school around 2009. And well, there's a lot of families that normally come to Primo Tapia for the season because it is a fisherman's area, right? And so we don't normally go up 400 students. That's the highest we've gone, right? And there's areas where the students can enjoy themselves. Like we have a basketball and a volleyball court. There's also a small area where they can sit and have their lunch. And I have a few pictures on the screen where you can see the building, the entrance of the school, and a piece of where the lunch area is. Also, I'm going to tell you a bit about the students' achievements. There's been some students that have achieved national recognition on academics. They've been first place, the whole school, or that period of students were first grade on a national evaluation. And then on arts, they won third place on a singing competition. And on sports, there's various places that they've received on soccer mostly and volleyball. And I'm also presenting a few pictures around the school. As you can see, there's not much of green areas. We've been, since I've been there like a year ago, we've been trying to build conscience with the students to take care of the green areas that we have, and to like help out on school with like bringing small plants that can grow around the area to help out with that. And well, I'm presenting the main challenge. Well, the main challenge of the school and the students is that, well, the families are mostly single parents, or they're like families with both the parents, but mostly one of them is working. And will the students struggle? I mean, I've seen this at the other school and this school. The students struggle with like books, or they struggle with getting their uniform complete, or to even buy lunch, or to work at their house and to do their homework. So I don't know, now you can ask any questions if you have any questions. Yes.
How old are the kids?
They're around from the ages of 15, 16 till 18. Yes.
The first I realized there were other success days was when I met you, that
Oh, okay.
we were at the graduation for the success day in Mision.
Yes.
Can you give us a little summary of the network of success day schools?
Okay. Well, there's CECITE is una subsistema like a subsystem of the government for other high schools. There's Cobach, and then there's Cecite, and then there's well, other Dejeti, there's other subsystems or systems, and this is one of them. There's a lot of Cecites around Mexico, and in Baja California, I think there's around 50 something. And it started, or it came up, the government came up with this system because there wasn't enough high schools around the el estado, the state, yeah, the state, and well, they needed more schools. So the government, I guess, came up with this system. It's school, I guess it was planned. That's what I think. Okay, don't get me wrong. That's what I think. I guess it came up to lower income families, I guess, because it's mostly built on areas that are far from like cities. Yes. ¿Mande? Uh-huh. Yes.
Do you assist your graduates job placement, finding work?
Yeah, well, there's actually one education modelo. Yeah, the education model that it came a way back or a long time ago, but I'm trying, and me and the principal are trying to get students to get into that program or that school placement, where the students go to la empresa, yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you. Los estudiantes van a la empresa y ellos toman sus módulos de la carrera allí. Los módulos del básico, matemáticas, geografía, historia, todo lo que tenga que ver con esas materias, toman un día en la semana en la escuela y van directamente a la empresa y no trabajan, pero sí toman el conocimiento. Y al final, ellos tienen un certificado pues de su bachillerato, de su escuela, y también toman un certificado pues que los avala como trabajadores o que pueden ya trabajar dentro de esa misma empresa o cualquier otra.
Entonces, deja ver si entendí bien. Los estudiantes les dan un módulo, un plan de estudio en el que ellos estudian por su cuenta
Ellos van directamente a la empresa.
a la empresa, pero el plan de estudio lo da la escuela al estudiante.
Ajá,
Okay. Y los estudiantes estudian en la empresa a la que van a pedir trabajo.
ajá.
Okay. So what she's explaining is that the school. Aquí las dos. What she's explaining is that the school basically provides a module of education program. It's a so it's sort of like a program in which the student picks up a module for studying, and the student goes directly to a specific company where they want to work, and they take the guidance for studying, and they study at the company they're working for. Well, ellos reciben algún tipo de pago,
Sí.
and they do get paid.
Yeah.
Sort of like an intern,
Yeah,
but they're
it's sort of
taking.
like an intern. Yeah, thank you.
¿Estudian dentro de la escuela o también fuera y dentro de la escuela?
They go directly to the company. They do the modules there. Whatever the module, it could be like food and beverages, just an example. And they would work on the restaurant area, and they have to rotate. Like a month they would work on the beverages and another month on the kitchen. And they're learning while they're working. So that gives them that credit for when they go out of the school, and to have like that
¿Un certificado?
certificate, but also like experience. Yes,
Ah, okay.
that experience.
Como para su resume, ¿no?
Yeah, for the resume. Yeah,
Okay,
it helps.
resume history. Okay.
Excuse me, I have a question. This is Sharon Hike.
Hi, Sharon.
The question is there a system in place for the students who are struggling to get their uniforms, their books, their school supplies? Is there a system in place that helps those students?
¿Cómo digo becas?
They have grants. ¿Tienen un programa de becas?
Es lo que quiero decir. o
Las
sea,
becas son grants.
hay
o
becas,
scholarships.
There's like scholarships, pero no son específicamente para eso. Las becas les llegan cada como 3 meses. Es una cantidad que les dan como por cada mes esos 3 meses.
¿Quiénes las becas?
Es nacional,
Ah.
pero no se las entregan a todos los
¿Del gobierno?
alumnos. Ajá, es del gobierno.
Okay, so there is a program through the government in which the government gives a certain amount of money in terms of scholarships to each student. Nevertheless, not all the students receive a scholarship.
Yeah. Y pues no todos obviamente pueden subsidiar su uniforme o
Porque no todos reciben becas.
no todos.
So-
Tienen que, they have to sign up for that scholarship.
Ujú,
And if they don't, no reúnen los requisitos,
ujú.
no se las entregan. pues.
So they have to apply for the scholarship, and if they don't qualify for the application requirements, some of the students, they don't have access to that kind of scholarship.
If one paper is missing, if they don't have something out of the whole list that they asked for, they don't receive it.
So that means the student is just, they have no help.
Ellos tienen que buscar por su
Ajá.
lado.
They have to look for something to get that money to get their books or whatever, no?
Okay. So la escuela no les da ningún tipo de libros a los estudiantes.
Hay algunos alumnos en los que, pues, tanto algunos compañeros lo hemos notado y así como que, ¿sabes qué? Pues llévate el libro y si quieres al final del semestre lo regresas, trata de cuidarlo para que.
Pero los libros los tienen que comprar los estudiantes.
Así es.
So I was asking for the books, if the school provides books for the students, and she says, no, actually the student has to buy their own books.
Yeah.
And if they don't have the money to buy the books, sometimes they lend a book to the student
Yeah.
and give them a certain amount of time for them to bring it back.
Okay, so is there any system in place to help provide those books other than through the government?
Dice que si hay algún otro sistema en el que exista para ayudarles a los estudiantes a tener acceso a esos libros aparte del gobierno.
No,
No, not at this moment.
ellos los tienen que comprar. Y normalmente les dice, sabes que entrando el semestre, en tal fecha llegan los libros y pues para esa fecha sí se les da they have like a period of time where they can buy the books. And
Or ask
Yeah.
for a copy of
yeah,
the book and they make copies. Okay. Any other questions? Len, yes, Len has a question.
So how long does it take for a student to complete a course of study, let's say, in hospitality? So is it like 1 year or
it's
3 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Mm,
So they also learn accounting and.
Yeah,
the-
they learn accounting, they learn food and beverages, hotel management, service areas, and they do it by modules. So they have 6 modules. The first one is just basic for them. So they know, or we know, if they learned something like mathematics or languages or so les dan los materias básicas, and then on second semester through second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, they receive all those modules that had to do with hospitality. Yes.
So they go to school. And then learn the school, go to work. And then back to their
Yeah, well, the program where they go to the company, it's just for those students that want to do that, because not that many students want to really go to the company. I guess they're young, they might be scared of like going to the school, or I mean, going to the company and not going to school, because they've known this form of learning throughout their life, right?
Una pregunta. I have a question.
Yes.
You're talking, the student has to go to the company. In this case, the company is a restaurant or a hotel. So does the student have to actually go to the hotel, or is a professor making that connection through the school?
Well, it's a 3 or 4-way thing. Well, we first ask the students if they want to get into that program. If they say yes, then we speak to the parents. If the parents say yes, then we take them to the company and they do a formal interview for them or to them to know if they really want to be in that program. Because if not, I mean, they could be there for 6 months and then they'll be like, I don't want to be here. I don't really like to work in this area. And they'll go back. And so that program for them to learn at won't be working.
What's the average graduate percentage? How many of the students graduate at the end of the course?
Well, like that would be like around 70%, 75, a little bit more.
Any other questions?
Miriam, it's Cherie.
Cherie,
It's Cherie. I have a question. Do they teach English as a regular class at the high school, or how are the kids getting English?
Yes, they have English class. They have 4 or 5 modules of English.
Oh, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay. ¿Más preguntas? More questions? Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you. I
Gracias por-
was so
por la
nervous.
presentación.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. Stay up here
Thank you.
for a
Okay.
moment, please. First of all, we want to thank you for the presentation and also for your service to the youth in our communities around us.
Thank you.
And the work you do is so important, and we acknowledge you for that. We would also like to present you with our Rotary Club's coffee mug to thank you for
Thank
your
you.
presentation today.
Thank you.
So again, a round of applause for Natalia.
I have this on my desk.
Excellent. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And please be seated.
Thank you.
And I'm noticing nobody's gotten lunch. Have they taken orders for lunch? All right, we need to deal with that. Mr. Sergeant at Arms, could you please drum up the waiter and ask him why they're not taking orders for lunch? Maybe he did. I see. Okay. Yes. Okay. You can interrupt me at any time. So, and there were some very good questions from Sharon and Len and Miriam and Rhonda, I think, which indicates to me that this club has a high interest in supporting education in the community. So in a few minutes, we will give you an update on what the Education Committee is up to and give you the opportunity to join the Education Committee and make a difference in the lives of these kids that need the support that we can give them and we are giving them. All righty. Next on the agenda, Climate Action Team update from Benet. Please, Benet.
Hey,
Yes.
it's Cherie. I just have one more question. I'm sorry. Can the kids from Carranza go to the Prima Tapia High School?
Do the kids from Carranza go to Prima? I believe there's an elementary school in Carranza.
It's- What about the high school? There was one.
I don't think Sesete is the high school.
Yeah, so they do go there.
They go there.
Yeah. If they
Okay.
have transportation, one of the things we found out in our work with the Madero Elementary School in El Descanso is that many kids don't go beyond elementary school because they don't have transportation to get to the secundaria, the middle school or the high school. And it's really a shame. So, okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And we're going to actually take a brief break for about 3 minutes while orders are taken. So you have a menu in front of you and there's a list of choices. Natalia, you are choose one of the numbers on the list to make the ordering easier. And we will be back in about 3 minutes. Natalia, your lunch is on us. We are buying your lunch. You're very welcome. So Tracy and Sharon and Mike and Cherie, being as you both have a Rotarian with you, you are free to engage in Rotarian conversation at home while you're waiting for us to reconvene the meeting.
Except I don't think we can hear each other, can we?
Are you? How far apart are you?
We unmuted, we're here.
Oh, we're
Oh,
here
you meant
too.
between Tracy and I was thinking two separate paired sharings, but that's all right.
So you have two?
Uh,
You're zooming in?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is Tracy and Sharon. This is Jack, our visiting Rotarian from Texas and Rosarito.
That's correct.
Hi there,
How you doing? Good to
we're
see you.
great.
And then Mike and Cherie are also hiding behind the Rotary emblem.
Yeah, and I don't know how to change it. Jack, we met you when you guys visited at the last Rotary meeting.
Yes, yes. and
Yeah,
we-
Mike and I are isolating because we found out late last night that we were just exposed to COVID. And so we didn't
Okay.
want to share our potential here.
Didn't want to share the joy, huh?
Yeah. We're
You have a lot
fine.
of potential, but you didn't want to share it, huh?
Yeah, we're fine. So it's just a wait and see, you know.
Why are they not popping up?
Because
Something on their end?
no, Cherie said she couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yes, something on their
I can figure out how to do it, but I want you to see what I look like.
Do you hear Mike?
Oh, I said you're hiding.
end. They turned it off.
You
Okay.
just got your camera
Okay.
turned off. That's just by down here. If you hit,
It's on the
stop.
pad. I don't know where anything is.
You want to turn it on?
So are
But
you-
Jack wants to see who we are, I
Yeah.
think.
then you get 3 or 4.
Okay,
in-
there, he did it.
We have some members.
She is?
There, you-
Yeah, and Mike's still hiding.
hi, Cherie.
Hi, Gabe.
Uh-oh.
No.
How do you make that bar come up? The bar across the
Just
top to
touch-
get the,
Just touch the screen.
okay, because then I could mute again. I just want to say, it's Sharon that switched
Sharon.
us. Sharon,
Yes,
are you familiar with Becca?
I know that name. If I saw the face, I probably would know who that is,
Well,
but
Becca is a scholarship organization. It's been going for over 15 years down in La Mission.
okay, so we're talking about an organization, not a person.
Yes.
Okey-doke.
And we do scholarships, we do books, we do
They are
uniforms.
home.
And this year we have 43 kids, and we pay university tuition, part of it at least. And this year we have 43 kids that
Oh,
are coming.
that's good news.
And so if our Rotary Club could get something, organized like that, we could help these kids because Becca is focused on schools in La Mission.
Okay, so, yeah.
Okay, I am reconvening our meeting. Sorry to interrupt your conversations. Moving on with the agenda and back to inviting Benay up to the podium to share about the climate action team. Benay, you are on.
Hello, everybody. Hello, people on Zoom. Hi.
Hi there.
So I'm here to update you on what's happening with our Climate Action Committee. We are up and running and really excited about what changes we're going to be bringing to our local area in La Mission and Santa Anita area. So our committee, the Climate Action Committee was formed by several members with a mission of bringing climate and environmental awareness and action to the communities of La Mission and Santa Anita. Committee members partnered with Cecite High School in La Mission to coordinate efforts with local agencies and officials to relocate the current illegal dump to a safer location. This dump site is right down the road from the high school currently. And it's posing a threat in that area. Also, we partnered with Cecite High School to hold an Earth Day event and to identify and implement opportunities for recycling waste materials. And on April 7th of this year, one of the teachers, principal, and students of Cecite High School officiated an Earth Day event to bring awareness to students and teach them how they can get involved in making improvements in their own communities. And they came together. It was an amazing project to see come together. The students were so enthusiastic. The teacher went above and beyond. The event was open to the community and there were various donations contributed to the event, which allowed the school to purchase supplies for completion of a beautiful mural that one of the students designed to represent climate. And it was something we shared a while back with the club. It's a mural of a woman or a person with two sides, one side with the climate in disarray and the other side with a beautiful improved climate. It's really something to see on the wall of the school there. And there was also a number of trees to be planted on campus as part of this Earth Day event. And the teacher plans to add a class on environmental changes to the course curriculum as well. Oh, she is. How wonderful. So the teacher I'm speaking of is Karen Perazzo, who's also a very active member in our Climate Action Committee. The committee members are currently working on a project to identify Punto Verde sites and bring recycling to the communities of La Mission and Santa Anita. A field trip is planned on August 9th, next month, to visit KFE Recycling and Precious Plastics in Ensenada. And there are going to be about 10 of us who are going to visit KFE, which is a company who does the pickup services for the Ensenada Punto Verde sites. They hauled the glass from La Mission Eco Resource Center and will be our haulers for our La Mission Punto Verde operation once it is established. Precious Plastics is producing skateboards from recycled plastics, as well as other recycled products. And with our visit there, we hope to be inspired with ideas to produce upcycled products in our community from our collected plastics at the Eco Resource Center. We're also investigating the possibility of getting a grant to buy a used shipping container as a secure collection point for the recycling program. And I believe the update was that we got approval for the grant. Was that right? Or, oh, not yet. Okay, excuse me. So that's something we're working on. So we have an enthusiastic group. We invite any other members who would like to join our committee to please join us in this effort to improve the climate in the areas in which we live. There are many, many needs. Our committee members include our Gabe Fasolino, Rhonda Pirtle, and myself, B'nai Raphael. And our community members are Susan Craik, John Larson, Karen Lopez Peraza, who is the teacher at the school, and the principal, Jesus Ariano Lara. Are there any questions? Thank you. I'll pass this back to Gabe.
Thank you, Benay. Okay, and the next update is on the Education Committee. We had a team working to support the Francisco E. Madero School in El Descanso. And we also had a school programs committee that started, but never was able to keep going. The two combined, made a decision the other day to combine. We created a mission statement for the Education Committee. Our mission is to prioritize and implement projects at local schools that will enhance students' educational opportunities and advancement. We work with the parents, school staff, local community, and administrators to accomplish these projects. We will incorporate the Rotary Kids program under this committee, and we work in concert with other programs that support education, such as the Vision Committee, the Climate Action Team, Scholarship Program, the La Mission Children's Fund, and Becca. The committee members are Marilyn, Benay, Miriam, Brenda, Scott, and Gabe. And volunteer members currently are from the Madero School. A couple of the parents, one of the teachers, and an administrator from the school district. And we've already been working with other Rotary clubs to get support. One of the projects we're currently pushing forward with is to, I forget, okay. Playground equipment, thank you, Miriam. Is to, yeah, the playground has one old swing that's rusted and most of the seats are missing. It is surrounded by tires, some of which have exposed metal tire cords sticking out that are dangerous for the kids. The Eugene Airport Rotary in Eugene, Oregon has already put a proposal in front of their board to cover $500 to refurbish the swing set, to get new tires and place those new tires and paint everything so it looks nice. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Miriam. So there's another matching donation. Scott has put a request into the Fresno Rotary to cover the cost of water dispensers for each classroom. We're waiting for their response on that one. Our goal is actually that we will have most of the expense covered by partner Rotary clubs. As I've mentioned before, we find it pretty easy to get clubs in the US to support the activities we're doing down here. And so we're always in communication with other Rotary clubs to build on that. So for those of you who have an interest in supporting the education of the children in this area, if you want to join us on the Education Committee, please contact one of the members of the Education Committee. As I said, Scott, Marilyn, Benay, Miriam, Brenda, or myself. Okay, Bomberos. Scott has an announcement regarding the fundraiser for the Bomberos bunkhouse. Scott, would you come up, please?
I got donations for the Bomberos fundraiser project. Two members from our community that are also building a horse ranch in La Mission, both donated $100 each. So from Tom Brickley, he's from another Rotary Club, and San Bernardino, I think. And then another member of our community, Melody Prentice. So they each donated $100 towards the Bomberos fundraiser.
Awesome. And those donations don't happen by chance. Scott, you must be out there talking about some of our projects, so I acknowledge you also for making those things happen. Great work, Scott. In addition to that, we had $1,500 in our club's account already designated for the Bomberos. The board has approved the use of that money plus a matching $1,500 from the DeChecos. So that's $3,000 towards the $5,000 goal. We have also asked Encinitas Rotary, Steve McQuarrie and his new president, John, I don't remember his last name, but they were down and we had Mike and Miriam and I had lunch with them. They said, how can we help the Bomberos? So we sent them an email and we asked them for $1,000 to help with the bunkhouse fundraiser. We'll see where that goes. And there was another commitment of $1,000 from somebody. If
Leslie Smith.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mike. Leslie Smith also donated $1,000. So if the Encinitas Rotary comes through, just the work of our club will have generated the entire $5,000 they needed to build that bunkhouse. So congratulations to our club members for all they do and for keeping the word out and talking to people and making a difference. Bravo.
Gabe, the money that was donated through the
Agency in San Diego.
agency in San Diego, so a tax write-off could be taken. Do you know how much money was generated through that resource?
I'm
Because
not,
that's where we did our donation for the Bombarderos.
is that Catherine Turner's group? What's the name of it? Baja Bridges? I'm sorry, I don't have an answer. Mike, do you happen to know?
Yeah, some donations were taken through Baja Bridges because they do have a nonprofit status, I believe. So that may be what she's talking about.
Yeah, do you know how much money came from there? Because
don't.
that's where we did our donation.
Yeah, I don't have the exact amount, but I know that they've collected several $100s that way. I know. I don't have the exact amount. Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Marilyn.
I'm afraid to leave when you get into a project, people who are there, helping you for your project, and have to stop. So not only do these guys come and put out fires, they also are going to build.
Yeah, and that's yeah. Yeah, and Marilyn points out, just to round out the whole picture, the Bomberos volunteer firefighters are the ones who will actually build the fire station. All that we are funding is the materials, not the labor. So, yeah. Okay, moving on. Rhonda.
Three people that they would match $100. So they bought that $300 plus they raised another $170. I think it came out $517 just for that. And that helped with the mission on the block.
Excellent. Was that at the concert? Yeah. Yeah.
So we had three people that were matching $100 and then they have
The hat.
the hat and we got over. And at the end, I think it's like 500.
Oh, great. Great news, Rhonda. Thank you. So Rhonda's telling us that There was a play at the Performing Arts Center, and there was $517 raised for the Bomberos bunkhouse at that event also. So those guys are well on their way to having a safe place and a comfortable place that they can sleep in when they're on call instead of sleeping in their trucks. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so next on the agenda, I have a request for a funding approval for the Madero School. As I mentioned, we have asked the Eugene Club to cover $500 for refurbishing the swings and getting the tires to be put around the playground. The Eugene Club has the money in its budget. They just did their budget. They said they put the money in the budget, but it needs a board approval, which could happen in about 2 weeks. We have been asked by the parents at the school if we could make this happen before school starts on August 29th. So I'm putting a request in front of the club, and the board has already okayed that we do this directly to the club. That if that does not come through, the club will cover the $500 for that project. So I'm making a motion that if the Eugene Rotary does not come through with the $500, our club will cover it for that playground equipment. I have a second from Scott. Do we have any discussion? Yes,
What's the total budget?
$500
No, for the whole project.
for the whole Madero School project.
Just the Playground project.
Oh, okay, so the budget is $500 for the swing set and the tires. There's a couple more pieces of equipment that we want to get for the playground, a monkey bar and seesaws. We haven't gotten the estimate of cost on those. So right now, we're just trying to do these 2 pieces before school starts.
And Tony and I will send the $1,000 with that help.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
So if the club approves
the 500,
that will be extra.
we'll have another $500. That's awesome. Okay, so who is going to turn down putting out $500 to get 500 more? So we have any other questions before we vote? All in favor of the motion to approve $500, raise your hand.
Our hands are raised.
Awesome. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Great work. Yes. Thank you. Well, I'll have Erwin get to you on that. All right, Benay, an update on our last social and discussion of future socials.
So we are still meeting for our social gatherings, the 3rd Thursday of the month. We have noticed that there has been less attendance from members during the summer months. So I just wanted to reach out and see if we're still interested in meeting on for a social gathering. And then also talk about other venues that people would be interested in meeting at that might make it more comfortable. I think this last one wasn't a great choice, and I apologize for that.
Where were they at?
They were at the
It was
bottom.
at the lounge in next to Poco Cielo. There was a band playing. It was loud. There were a lot of people. So the people that were there, we wound up moving next door to Poco Cielo. So it was nice and quiet there. We had a nice table for all of us. And so I wanted to propose an idea of maybe meeting at people's homes. I have a great community area where I live. There might be community centers where other people live. So that's an idea also that we can talk about, and then we can BYO, like make it a potluck and gather that way. So are there any suggestions, Erwin?
We have a social Dave's room.
Clubhouse.
We have much better than
At the clubhouse?
That was a good club. Well, not necessarily, I just feel that. Yeah, well, it's more private.
Okay, so Erwin is saying that when people met at a clubhouse, there were more people attending, it was more private and more of a comfortable environment for people. Anybody else have any feedback? Scott?
The other thing that, that social used to start at like 6 o'clock, and that's one of the main function,
Uh-huh.
maybe better for people. I still kind of lean back because I couldn't go on that class event, but it was really hold the attendance of it. It seems like maybe we still haven't gone through that process, but we need to talk to every single member and ask them how they like to be communicated. People aren't paying attention to emails. I don't know, phone calls, if they, somehow the message isn't getting out to everybody. And somehow we've got to figure that out first. It's like, how do these people need to be communicated to? For me, it's email. It works for me, and that's what I like. Not everybody's that way. It's not a phone call. And that works for them, but we've got to figure this out to get attendance back where it needs to be, because people aren't showing up. And they're not showing up unless somebody's different.
So Scott is saying how we need to take a look at the membership communication process and how people want to be communicated and how do we reach out to more of our members to let them know, because it's nothing's changed in terms of the timing. As long as I've been with the club, we've always met on the third Thursday of the month for our social gathering. So that's kind of a known. But it's always been well attended up until the last month or so, couple months, yeah. So how do you guys feel about meeting privately at a private residence? And are there people willing to offer their clubhouse or residence? Scott, you want to meet at a restaurant? How do other people feel? I see other people shaking their head, yes. We can avoid the cleanup and the setup. Yeah.
I think in a lot of respects, that's easier. I think maybe the low attendance is associated partially with the summer and partially with the resurgence of COVID. I don't know what the reasoning is. I know our reasoning has kind of been that we're a little reluctant because of the resurgence of COVID. So,
Thank you, Sharon. So Sharon's saying how it could be due to the low attendance could be due to the resurgence of COVID and also the summer months. A lot of people are traveling. Len?
Personally, I know at least 3 or 4 people who made it all the way through social channel. The close friends of mine who all of a sudden within one of the days came down with the program. And my daughter works in San Diego, UC San Diego healthcare system. Hospital system right now. From that down. Is that right?
Oh, it's that red again. Okay.
So the governments are trying not to about the healthcare system.
Right.
I think a lot of people just on the basis of harm the foul are kind of trying to keep their socializing.
Rhonda.
Also, my cousin girlfriend is coming to stay at one of the resorts in Rosarito. And today they sent out an announcement about COVID and about, wearing a mask, the distance, the amount of people they're gonna allow in their area, their outside area. So it's
Okay, it's a concern is what we're hearing. So do we want to postpone our social gatherings for now? Is that what we're hearing? All in favor? No
I-
hands are going up, so we're gonna continue to meet. 'em.
Yeah, my,
And if you feel comfortable, wear your mask or keep your distance. Take care of yourself, whatever you feel you want to do. But we do have a great group of people. The few of us that gathered last week had a great time. And Poco Cielo was a wonderful place. And maybe we can return there in August if you guys want.
Well, I did show up, but the wrong folks, you know. I went to the
Yeah,
house.
well, we originally started at the lounge and then moved. Sorry, we missed you. Oh, my gosh.
okay.
Limit the amount. Okay,
To
so we'll,
50
this will be an ongoing
conversation.
and always open to feedback and suggestions. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Benay, for your leadership on socials and your
Well,
keeping us connected as best as you can in spite of the considerations. I have made a note. I'll ask the board to have a conversation at the next board meeting about phone trees, emails, and getting in touch with everybody and find out how best to communicate. Thank you for that input, Scott. We are after the 2 o'clock hour. Does anybody object if we take about 10 more minutes to cover a couple more topics? Is everybody comfortable with that? And if you have to leave, feel free to leave. Okay, thank you so much for your indulgence. Jack or Mario? Mario, do you want to come up and talk about the fundraiser? Just give us a brief, oh, Jack's going to do it. Okay. Give just a brief overview. I know the board will be working with you guys and to cover this in detail, but let's get the club to at least have a sense of what's going on. Very briefly, please.
Okay, I'm here today to kind of share with you I think a unique opportunity that Rotary has here in the Rosarito area. And let me begin by asking, have any of you ever attended the Sabor de Baja event in the summer, usually in August of each year? Okay, if you were familiar with that, that used to be an annual event in August of each year. Yeah, everyone dresses in white, and it was a festival around food and wine at the Rosarito Beach Hotel. And the admission fee was anywhere from $80 to $100. And that event often sold out. I would say 400 or 500 people potentially were there. My wife and I would attend most years. That no longer is happening. The woman who was the instigator of that event has relocated out of Baja, and it's just not going to happen anymore. And so the Rosarito Rotary Club is proposing replacing that with what we're calling the Rosarito Wine Festival. Essentially a very similar event to Sabor, but the focus would be on the wines of Northern Baja, the Guadalupe Valley. We would have wine tasting. We would have the vineyards come in and at various booths. We'd have restaurants providing food samples just as they did in Sabor. So it's a festival around food and wine. We would have entertainment, music, mariachi, folk dance, that kind of thing. We're looking at a venue potentially of the SEART facility. We're still investigating whether or not that could accommodate the crowd we would anticipate. We're targeting, and this is in its formative stages, but we're targeting about 400 tickets to be sold. And we see this as a lucrative opportunity for Rotary to continue the event and to promote what Rotary does. And we are proposing that the 3 Rotary clubs in Baja sponsor this event. And so we wanted to present that to you briefly. We've talked to your 2 co-presidents a couple of weeks ago about it. We're continuing to refine the concept and meet with various people that would have to support us on this. But that's really what I wanted to share with you, that this would not occur again until next summer. We're a year ahead on this. And it is an event that would take a lot of organization, a lot of work. But we see it as a very lucrative one that would provide a good revenue source to the three clubs and potentially be an annual event, an annual opportunity for Rotary to present what we do and to generate funds for each of the clubs.
Can I get clarity on that, Jack? You say the three clubs. I thought there were three Rosarito clubs. Are you saying that,
There are two clubs in Rosarito plus La Mission.
oh, what about Maico, Rosarito Maico? It's gone? Okay. It disappeared. Okay, so you're asking our club to be the third club?
Yes,
Just to make sure we're clear. Let's take one question from Scott.
I grew up in the wine industry. I was winemaker for a while. I worked both sides of festivals and I would love to be a part of it.
Excellent. I think this has great potential to be a real successful event.
I agree.
Okay. All right, Jack, thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you for having me.
All right, and the last agenda item, I have to get Erwin's attention. He's talking in the middle of my presentation. The last agenda item is to give Erwin the opportunity to collect a little bit of money. Happy dollars, Erwin. And I think Jack is the first one actually that owes us some money.
Go back to the basics. Anybody that is not running a Rotary can. $500.
Or Rotary insignia of some sort.
Rotary can,
Just
anything that has to do with Rotary. Like, will work.
those don't look like Rotary. Rotary supports peace, but those are not Rotary earrings.
So anybody. Or band, or something that designates Rotary, costs $2.
That's another $1, I think.
Anybody been on some of that?
Erwin's phone is ringing while he's doing happy dollars. Miriam, who always wears a pin, always seems to have forgotten it today. Mike and Cherie and Tracy and Sharon, do you have your Rotary pins on for this meeting?
It's on my little thing in the nightstand. Does that,
Yeah, ours are in the nightstand too.
yeah,
So our Zoom participants are claiming their pins are very close by in their nightstands. Oh, I think somebody just did an Alaska cruise, somebody on the Zoom call. I did a vacation. I got to give you $1.
Gabe, do
Yes.
we get a discount if we were exposed to COVID?
They owe you a lot of money. Cherie wants to know if she gets a discount because she got exposed to COVID on their vacation. Sorry, Cherie, no.
Here's $1 for vacation. I'm going.
Man, a few words.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. And I'm gonna start thinking of different things, be prepared to be designed.
All right, things like phones ringing in the middle of the meeting. Did you put your $1 in for that? Oh, Scott's proposing that Zoomers have to pay just because they zoomed in instead of showing up. I think we're gonna have a tough time with that one.
Yeah, because we would have exposed everybody potentially.
Oh, Tracy and Sharon heard that and they just logged off. All right. Erwin, thank you so much. Is there anything further we need to cover to wrap up today's meeting? Scott?
Tomorrow, going up to Rancho Diego, the food bank, the food and supplies out to the field workers. There were some people coming in the car with us that we decided to sit instead.
Our quarantine.
So there's room for maybe 1 or 2 people pop, because there's a lot of clothing.
Okay. Anybody want to go out to Rancho Viejo to help distribute clothing to the farm workers?
What time are you leaving?
You need to be at the food bank at 8:30. Back around 11:30.
Okay, let Scott know if you're interested. Is there anything further before I adjourn today's meeting? Danielle, Jack, Mario, and Natalia, thank you so much for being here with us today. Today's meeting of the Best in Baja, the Rotary Club of Rosarito La Mision is adjourned. Thank you, Mike and Cherie. See you guys.